What's good? What's good? I am your host, Jason J. Will Does It, and I got my guy, Mr. What will he be today? What's good? What's good? I am your host, Jason J. Will Does It, and I got my guy. I really don't like this.
It sound like
It look like a head.
it sound like a little midget standing beside you with some cue cards holding them.
It looked like somebody trying to sexual harass me and putting it on my shoulder.
This man get me too by a microphone.
Oh boy. And I got my guy, Ivan, the Grizzly, the Great.
What it do?
What's good, bro? What's good, sir? What's good?
Man, it's all good, man. All good, man.
By the time everybody hear this will either be your Memorial Day or after. Well, I'm sure it will be after Memorial Day. So happy Memorial Day, happy holidays, face ass.
Mm-hmm.
We all celebrate holidays that have nothing to do with us, but hey.
Yep. Hey, you get off work, man. It's all that matters.
Yeah, everybody else was out celebrating. I just got out work and shit.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. You ain't get out work. That's right. Oops. My bad. Yeah, man. Memorial Day. A day to remember people who have made the ultimate sacrifice. And not just those who made the ultimate sacrifice, but those that have gone on before us. Just want to say, man, we appreciate y'all. And we remember you all. And you'll never be forgotten.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So you want to get to it?
Yeah. Man, my mind is a million other places, man. We are the Off on the Tangent podcast. This is episode 86, I believe. Would like to, off top, go ahead and say, I know I've been missing you guys, but would like to say thank you to the viewers and the listeners. Y'all still standing tall with us and liking, subscribing, and sharing, and including us in the water cooler talk. We appreciate that. And now that everybody's going back to work, hey, my nigga, shit, y'all got something to listen to while your boss is bullshitting with you. So, hey, fuck with us.
Pretty much. You already know how that works.
Speaking of everybody going back to work, it means everybody's going back outside.
Yep. Everybody's back outside for the most part.
I didn't realize. Well, I guess I can say I realized it, but I guess I didn't realize how anxious everybody is to get back outside, man.
I mean, it's natural.
Everybody is out, my nigga.
Yeah. I mean, that's to be expected. It's to be expected, man.
But the anxiety for me comes out is that, everybody ain't vaccinated, right?
Nah. But about
okay.
I think they said about 65% of the people in this city have been, though.
But
I think 65 to 70.
But all it takes is like one person. Like, all right, so even though you might get the joint, even though you vaccinated, you out chilling with other people who like, oh, okay, I'm cool, I'm straight. I'm going to be around other people who vaccinated, so I'm good. But you keep, I don't know, man. It's just how I just be looking at shit, how my mind work, and how my mind work. It's like, dude, this is still not a good recipe.
I mean,
It's not a good recipe.
It may not be, but I'm more inclined to think that we're a whole lot better shape now than we were 8 months ago.
I think we should still be wearing masks, though.
I mean, you can still wear your mask. You still, I mean, that's a.
Now I'm talking about vaccinated. I'm talking about vaccinated or not. I think people should still wear their mask.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Like I've seen a lot of people with their mask on today.
Like, I don't think people putting the correlation of, like, most people, if you really sit down and think about it, if you followed all the washing of your hands, wearing the mask or whatever, most of us went a whole year without getting sick. None of us got a cold or any of that. So it's just like take that into consideration. The majority of people.
I don't agree with that. I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with that.
You got you got a cold? I ain't talking about sinus infection. I ain't talking about allergies.
Nah, I disagree with that.
I ain't talking about allergies. I'm talking about a cold.
I disagree with that because a lot of people that had colds and stuff last year, they got diagnosed with COVID and they had colds.
No, what I'm saying is that, like, all right, so, like, the people who, even if you did go get your vaccine or whatever like that, before you got your vaccine, if you followed the guidelines before you got your vaccination, a lot of people were already not sick. You know what I'm saying? They already didn't catch a cold. And even after they vaccinated, if they still followed the guidelines, they still never caught a cold. They still never got sick. If that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is if you still follow them guidelines, you still shouldn't get sick.
Yeah, I mean, I agree
people because to me,
I agree with.
Because to me, how I see this, how I'm seeing this, most people are just ready to get back out so they can be nasty again.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that either.
Folks are fucking disgusting, my nigga. Human beings are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, but
they back out to coughing in the air.
But you know, you have. I mean, I see it, but I also see people, Jay, who are more conscious of it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do see people who are like, they're still wearing a mask. They are washing their hands. They are trying not to cough around people. Like, I see people that are doing it. Obviously, there's always going to be those like that are just going to do what they want to anyway. But I am seeing people more conscious of how close they are to people. And unless they're with people that they actually know, they're not getting out. You know how it used to be like you in the grocery store, you standing in line and the next person behind you is like standing right behind you with their basket or whatever.
Man,
like now I'm saying,
and them niggas need to get an eye jam, what like old people used to say, eye jammy, real quick. Like, nigga, you standing too close to me, my nigga. Yeah. If I can turn around and give you an eye jammy, you too close.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, like I'm seeing people that are now being more conscious of how close they are to people. And if they're not, then the person that they're getting too close to is looking at them like, you need to back up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like I'm seeing that now. And even, you know, like, and I agree with you. Like, I'm not disagreeing with that as far as like people ready to be more comfortable. I think it's as far as like how we deal with each other socially, right? Like people are meant to be out and meant to be close to each other, you know, shake hands.
We are meant to be
and all of that.
Interact,
sociable.
Interact. We are meant to connect.
Right. So it's like two sides of a coin, or you're gonna have like both of those things going on at the same time. You're gonna have your group of people that are gonna go back to being nasty because I'm seeing people not washing their hands, leaving the restroom. You know which folks I'm talking about. And so, but I'm also seeing people like when they go into a building and they open up a door, they're pulling out hand sanitizer, like putting it on their hands and on their kids' hands when they walk into a building. You know what I'm saying?
I
And I
got one of
didn't
them
see that.
hooks. I
I
got one
didn't
of them
see
hooks.
that.
I don't even touch the door.
Yeah. Like and also for the businesses and stuff, more businesses are putting the thing that you use your foot to open the door. They put
The
those
automated,
into
the
the
little automated
yeah,
door, the little tap
right.
joint. What up?
Yeah, the
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you're going and
All of that
so
shit.
I think that there was a that has been learned after that time that like, yeah, we could. Because I mean, think about it. You know, I talked to I actually asked this question to a nurse, and she basically said like, she was like, you're going to see people that's going to go back to doing things the way that they did before. She said also she's seeing people that are way, way, way more conscious of how what's the word I'm looking for? Their etiquette as far as being in public. Like if they're at a restaurant, they're at a bar, they're not like all in somebody's face or whatever. And when they sneeze or they're coughing, they're like covering their entire face up, or they're like, excuse me, I'll be right. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I agree, like before, we talked about this before, like projectile coughing and projectile sneezing and all that type of stuff. People are being conscious because in the back of their mind,
Right.
like if it's not COVID, like you said, if it ain't COVID, it's the flu or it's the common cold or it's some type of germ or something that could cause a type of infection. So people are like, they don't want to be in the house for another year and a half no more. You know what I'm saying? So they like, man, they like, no, we're going to wear these. Like I saw a lot of people out with masks going to the store. Like they got their mask on still. I still have my mask on, you know what I mean? Like out at the park and stuff, it's a little bit different when you're in a different space. But when you're in a place where like a building or something like that, I'm seeing people still work right, even though the mandate is not in place anymore. I'm still seeing people rocking their mask. You know what I'm saying? I still see people giving daps and fist bumps and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like this is gonna have a long lasting effect on how we deal with each other culturally. You know what I'm saying?
Like
And
I'm having an issue of FOMO. Like I really want to get out. I'm having a case of the FOMOs, and like this past weekend, we had the kickback. Niggas seeing the pictures, and I'm like, niggas seeing the stories.
Yeah.
Big Sue was live, man. I see y'all out there, man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, although it's outside, it's too many people close together outside. Mm-hmm. I ain't see not one mask in that joint. I'm like, oh
yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, so with that
I feel
being
like
said,
a nigga. I feel like a nigga just out. I feel like I'm institutionalized.
Well, I mean, that's a personal feeling though. Like you and the other people that feel like that, that's a personal feeling. Like it's nothing stopping you from going and wearing your mask while you're there.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't stopping that. You know what I mean? You can still go and wear your mask, or you could not go. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But I think that's what the push for people going and getting the vac. That's what that's what's on their mind. Like, man, I'm gonna go get this because I don't want to stay in the house another 6 months, or I don't want to stay in the house another 3 months. Like, I want to get back out and be involved and do stuff. Now, I didn't go to the kickback, but I've been out grabbing my cigars and stuff like that. Still in a little bit like smaller setting of people, you know what I'm saying, and still relatively like distance at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not a whole bunch of people
like
still like right up on, yeah. And so, the pauses are always like the pauses actually make us pause. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, but I get it though, man. Like I mean, like I was talking to my homegirl and she was just basically kind of sharing some information on what to do next, what to think about next, and what to keep in mind, and all of that type of stuff. And we don't have, like, I think there was five new cases or something in the last week or so, but as far as like numbers, it'll be another week or so before we see like actually, because also and I was just talking to somebody today, like there's still certain parts of the country where like you still can't go out and kick it. You know what I'm saying? Like in certain cities up north, like in Chicago, they're still very limited on what they could do. You know what I'm saying?
But
And
as
so
we should
it
though,
just,
and I think that's the reason why we're having so many of these variants, because it's fucking mutating, because we still out.
you know what? I don't think that's the case. I think what it is this, is that you had this period of time where everybody was at home, and those variants actually developed during that period of time.
While
And
everybody
so
was at home.
people still, while everybody was at home, because you got to think about, like, you're still, you have one, like at one period of time. So at one period of time, you had certain cities that were like wide open, while all the rest of them, well, I don't say all the rest of them, but several others were like closed off, that were in close proximity. So
Right.
remember when we were shut down in Mississippi and Arkansas was still like wide open,
Right.
and it's right across the bridge. So how do you not, if you have family that lives in Olive Branch or something, or you work in Olive Branch, you got to drive to go to work, and everything's shut down here, but you go there and everything is wide open. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Wi-Fi, man.
So what now?
I said, Joe, Wi-Fi.
What is it, freezing? Like, man, it's
yeah, it'll make you sound robotic for a minute, and then you'll freeze for a minute. But you straight now.
Nah, this probably edible I just had.
And they get you sound like a robot.
I'm kidding. But and so, man, is we can control what we can control, but the other stuff you just really can't. But you know what I mean? Like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson in the 90s was wearing a mask. Remember? He was wearing a mask and gloves in the 90s.
You know what? We made fun of that nigga, and I thought of that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna follow suit for that. I'm gonna follow suit because that nigga stayed with the mask until he passed. He been wearing masks and gloves.
Yeah.
Mask and gloves. So I was like, he knew what was going on. Y'all bastards is nasty. Ooh.
Well, I think he had like
nasty.
an autoimmune. You stupid, man. I think Mike had like autoimmune issues or whatever too. So, when you Michael Jackson, you got access to information that other people don't have access to. You know what I'm saying? So, he was walking around with the mask and stuff like that. So,
but that's true. With you having issues with your health, that does make you more
aware, conscious,
and research more, and then you start paying attention to how nasty niggas are. You like, dude, all right. I see I can't control this, so let me just go ahead and wear some gloves, wear a mask.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting though? With kids, right? So the way kids get sick, daycare, schools, all that type of stuff, is really good for them because their immune systems, that's how your immune system gets stronger as a child, because you are, you know what I'm saying? Like that's really how it does. And basically, that's what they were saying, like, hey, like at some point in time, sooner or later, like there's gonna be stuff out here. There's already stuff out here that your body is gonna be like, oh, okay, I don't want this. It's gonna ward it off, or you get sick for a couple of days and then you build up a resistance to it. Like your body is the most complex and unique machine ever made. You know what I'm saying? And so, you take your precautions, but at the same time, like you're gonna be exposed to some stuff, and your body is gonna basically fight it off on its own as long as you always ascribe to the way you eat and all that type of stuff.
Right.
It helps to do that. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why I was like, but a baby, the only difference between a baby and an adult, the baby is not voluntarily ingesting poison on his own. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it can withstand a virus coming into it for the most part, because that's the only other thing that it really has to focus on or fight off.
Yeah.
Us on the other hand, we the food we eat, liquor, drug intake, all that other type of stuff. It's like, okay, man, hey, all right. You can gave me 92 things to fight off, my nigga.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
One of these things gonna come through.
Yeah, but I think also within the last year, just based on what I've seen on social media, is people are at least having the conversation or trying to be more health conscious. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing that. Like I see people saying, "Hey, I need to, I'm on my apple cider vinegar. I'm on my herbs. I'm on my, my water increase, my sea moss, chlorophyll, all those type of things." Like I think that's a good thing. Like people are more conscious of what they're putting in their bodies now, because you look at it, especially with Black folks, you know what I'm saying, the greatest numbers in high blood pressure, diabetes, and so forth and so on. Like I'm gonna be real, I feel like people are like tired of dying of the same, like folk, like nobody wants to die at 60 years old, 55 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So I just think that people are trying to be, even in the smallest way, trying to be more conscious of what they're consuming.
We just figured it out then.
Yeah. But I mean, as long as we do, I think whenever we do, I think we need to. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of the things that we intake, you never shared the mushroom story.
Oh,
and I would like to know this. I would like to know this experience, sir. Please.
Okay. So
share.
I'm
plant-based,
Yeah, it's plant-based. Yes. Thank you very much for pointing that out, sir. You're a gentleman and scholar. So yes, I had a mushroom experience, and it was a weekend of. Oh yeah, where'd you get those from? From a Black and Mild company.
Yeah.
So I had a weekend of reflection, meditation, therapy, did some yoga.
Yeah, you know what? I meant to rock your ass about that. You went and did one of those thought poses by looking away and down. Like you doing the off guard picture or pose. I was like, I know this nigga just did not do an off guard pose. Reflections. Face ass nigga. I'm like, what is this nigga doing? Nigga put some little quarter bill up under the jaw. Like, oh, okay. That's what he doing.
It was reflection time, man. Black man gotta have some decompression time. You know what I'm saying?
While you was on the shrooms.
Gotcha. Well, there, yeah. So, so basically this is what the experience was. So experience was, I took them, and I made sure that I ate, food and stuff. And it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, as far as like what I heard people say about them. Um, it was more so like
Oh, you thought you was gonna have you an experience.
well, I did have an experience. It was just not what I like had heard from some people. So I heard about it. They had the mushroom tea at Chappelle Summer Camp last year, and some of the different people that were there, Tiffany Haddish, Donald Rawlings, Bob Saget was there, John Mayer, Kweli, most all
I
of
said he out there
Yasin.
sucking dick for drugs.
Who?
You said Bob Saget, right?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Nothing, you don't get it. I guess it was in one of the movie. It was in the movie or something. He was like, I suck dick for weed.
What?
He said he sucked dick for the weed. He said he sucked dick for drugs in one of his movies.
Well, I'm glad I didn't see that one. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I had dinner, and took two of them. It's probably, man, kicked in like maybe 30 minutes later or so.
Right.
But it was just like a really like warm, calming type of feeling.
No
I didn't
psychedelics.
see. It wasn't like they're supposed to be psychedelic, but I didn't have that experience. I laughed a lot. Like I laughed a lot. Just about different stuff. Like it was just a lot of stuff was just funny. But it was like kind of reminded me of my childhood, right? Like it was kind of like, remember when we were kids, like little kids, and it was basically like you went to school and you told jokes with your friends, y'all checked each other, and you went home and ate. You know what I'm saying? You saw something funny on TV. It was like you laughed at cartoons of the Three Stooges. Like that's how I felt for 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like a trip like I'd heard or whatever, but it was just really calming. I was really relaxed. Couldn't go sleep though. Couldn't
Why
go
not?
sleep. Well, it was like
you was afraid to go to sleep.
No. It's like relaxing, but it doesn't make you sleepy. Like
Man,
it's
why
relaxing.
You got on the top of your head?
Because it's too small. I can't pull it all the way down. I might tear the size off of it. So
this nigga got a baby Carter's bucket hat on.
I got this from Children's Place.
Baby Oshkosh.
So mainly, man, was just like calming. I processed a lot of thoughts. I came up with a lot of ideas, like a lot of them. Like it was unbelievable. I started like breaking
one
stuff
of the
down.
Ideas.
Well, I'll share this with you off air because I don't want to share this one because it's actually being put into it's something that's being made right now. So
gotcha.
I'm finna get that giant trademarked and copyrighted and all that. We'll talk about that one off.
And I'll just let the viewers know. Viewers, he never shares anything with me off air. After we get off air,
that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. He lying. That's a light skin lie. That's a light skin lie. He light skinned, y'all. So don't believe it. Light skinned people be lying. But just different stuff, man, about business.
Would I lie to you people?
Yeah,
is this the face of a
yeah. It's the face of he looked like a fake ass Robert De Niro with the glasses on at Casino.
Hey, how you know he wasn't trying to be like me?
That's because that movie was made when you was like 13 years old.
Hey, but I got family of G's, so I had to look up to somebody who was already wearing these junk. You did.
Man, but it was just calming, it was nothing Like I didn't feel paranoia or nothing like that. It was just calming, man. And finally, when it's like I came down or whatever, then I went to sleep. Just woke up refreshed, and you know, it's kind of like, it's kind of like just kind of takes you away from everything for a while. You feel what I'm saying?
You know what?
It's just
I'm gonna have to quit asking you questions. You be giving a nigga like the TV rated version. I want you to give the real experience. You be like, so I see I'm either gonna have to take this experience, one, myself, and two.
What you mean? That was my experience. Like, why would I? I don't need to lie.
This
So
nigga
what
gave
it
me
does?
this
So
nigga
this
gave me the
no
PBS
no 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 no
version.
no 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 no. I gave you my experience. See, here's the thing about that. Everybody's experience is different because it's basically what it does is it brings out your own personality.
I'm thinking of a like that experience that Isaac Hayes is talking about on that Spody Odie, like on that little song, on that little trip there.
Nah, it wasn't like that for me. It's different for different people. Like if that's where your head kind of is, if like you're a super creative person that sees all these different things on a regular basis, then it brings all of that out. I'm not one of those type of people. I'm more of a relaxed
my
creative.
creativity to that level, man, I might be addicted to that joint.
Yeah.
Cause I love creating, man. If it creates visions, or I ain't gonna say visions, but if it creates if it opens up your creativity where yeah.
So, but I got the plugs on it though, so we good.
Interesting.
But yeah, man.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. So that's what it was for me. Like it was a more of a relaxed, creative experience for me. You know what I mean? Like it slowed me down to think stuff through. Cause I could be overly anxious at times. And it did just the reverse. It was like slow down, push everything out, right? Just kind of, because I love laughing and all of that. So that was like my natural reaction, laughter, expression. And then I started to think things through, like, oh, okay. Like instead of overthinking, it was like my thinking was balanced. You feel what I'm saying? I wasn't overthinking nothing. I was just thinking through stuff the way that I should. So that's what it was for me, man. Like it's different for different people. So when I get you hooked up, then you can tell everybody what yours was like.
Sometimes I'd be like, I've had access to it before and never took it. Or actually, I had it for a minute and just eventually threw it away. It's like a nigga get shaky because I be thinking it's gonna do something else. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna be on the motherfucking roof and want to jump off of some shit.
No, sir. I think that's like LSD or like angel dust or something.
Right.
No, we that's it's not that kind of thing. It ain't that kind of thing, man. Not at all.
Man, just looking at the Grizzlies, they just motherfucking lost, man.
Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm not disappointed though. I'm not disappointed in them though.
I'm never disappointed. Yeah. I'm always I'm always motherfuckers on. We made to the playoff shit. I'm straight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And we actually,
especially to be in the West, and always making it to the playoffs, my nigga. Shit, it's always a fucking salute because shit. It's a lot of niggas who can make it over you. Period.
Man, like for real, like we beat Golden State, we beat Steph Curry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we beat Steph Curry
to get in.
Hot Steph Curry to get in. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry that dropped like 45 and we won. And then we was it the first game we beat Utah.
You know you're showing how good you are. The folks who you can smack in the mouth and get in and get up in this joint.
Right. So I see a lot of immaturity on the team, obviously, because they got their whole star five is basically young guys. I don't think none of them dudes been in the league more than 5 years.
I don't know if I see immaturity. I don't know if I'll say that.
I see some immaturity. I do. Dylan is still immature on defense because he fouling every chance he get. Like he got a mature offense. On offense, he's still trying to play hero ball too much. and he can score basically when he wants to, and he's
Yes.
super aggressive. Like, and dude and he taking the ball to the rack, dunking that thing. Like I like that, but he's still fouling jump shooters. Jaren Jackson just don't look like he even belong out there. Like he looks out of place. Like he looked like it's his rookie year or something. You know what I'm saying?
But see,
And
you call it like you saying him fouling jump shooters. You call it immaturity.
yeah,
But
that's immaturity.
it
That
looks
is.
like I'll put like this. You say that is immaturity, but when it's working for him, he the best defensive player out there. But if it's not, it's just he
Now when you
having a
foul
bad.
jump shooters. Now he foul. Nah, he shouldn't be
I
fouling
mean,
jump
when you
shooters at all.
fouling the jump shoot, 9 times out of 10, he trying to smack the ball out of their hand before they jump up with and shooting the J. That's what he
Nah,
doing.
he's jumping at shooters. He shouldn't be jumping.
Oh,
He shouldn't be
okay. You
jumping
talking
at
about at the
all.
pump
Yeah.
fake. Now, if you're
Yeah,
if you talking about at the pump fake, got you.
Yeah, he should just be what they call is close out. Like you close out and you put a hand up in their face.
Right.
Like you don't jump because when you jump, they're gonna pull a Reggie Miller on you.
You don't never
But
jump.
he's jumping like every time. I'm like, Dylan, you don't have to do it. Like make Donovan Mitchell go to the basket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna foul him, make him go to the basket and get fouled. Don't foul him on a jump shot and give him 3 shots so he knocks it down and you get a 4-point play. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude is like leading the league in guards for fouls. Like he's fouling out of games where he got 27 points and he fouling out. You know what I'm saying? At a time in the game. Oh yeah. He fouled out last game. He had like 28 and he fouled out. Like that's unnecessary. Like you
if you
basically
already
defeat the purpose.
losing shit, I don't mind fouling out
Well,
if you already losing.
the last game when he fouled out, the game was close. You know what I'm saying? And it was at the time where they probably needed him in the game at that time. Because scoring wise, like they lost another score. You see what I'm saying? So like he's got to learn how to play defense and stay on his feet without fouling. Like if he can do that, we cool. You know what I'm saying?
They do need
They need a vet.
Yeah, they need one vet.
They need a vet. They need a vet on the team
who can score.
Right. You remember what Vince Carter used to do for us and what he did for Atlanta is that's the kind of guy we need on that team. Like a vet that can score.
He will still need to pull in like 15, 20 points though.
Well, I don't even think he would need to pull that in. I think what they need is they need a vet that can come off the bench and give you 11. And they got the big man. Big Val been hooping, but he been kind of slow the last couple of games because they've taken him out of the game basically because they're not going into the post because they're not calling fouls. Like
an additional rebounder and assist man.
Right. Additional rebound and assist guy. Somebody who can basically be versatile and mix it up. You know what I'm saying?
And can still.
The
only reason why I say 15 because you at least getting like 5-8 points a quarter or whatever like that. That's always a good contribution within the quarter.
But you know the vets are not gonna play that many minutes. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna play that many minutes. They may play 27, 28 minutes.
But it don't take nothing. It don't take nothing to score 5 points a quarter. Is what I'm saying though.
Yeah, but they're not gonna play like they'll come in and probably play because you know Ja gonna get the minutes, Dylan gonna get the minutes, Big Val gonna get the minutes. What's his name? I can't think of the other guy's name. They're gonna get the bulk of those minutes. They just need somebody like 15 to be great, but I'm saying 11 would be good with a couple of defensive stops and somebody that, like, as a veteran, can pull everybody in and say, okay, like, y'all calm down. Let's play good defense. Like, we ain't got to play hero ball and pull up on threes on a fast break. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we ain't got to do that. Slow the game down, go inside and play old school basketball, which that's what the Grizzlies are good at.
I'm slowing it down, though. You don't need to slow it down.
That game where Val had 21 and 23, the game where they came back from 17 points down, that worked very well for them, and they went away from that. Like, they went away from that, and they lost with 2 straight ever since. You know what I'm saying? And I know it when they played at Utah, they couldn't get no fouls called. So I know why they stopped going inside because like Gobert was fouling the middle. He was hacking Big Val and they weren't calling it. So they stopped going inside to him. You know what I'm saying?
That's well. Usually, I hate looking at the politics in it, but a lot of times that's how you can tell who they really want to advance. Because Gobert, that nigga be pushing a lot, man, and that nigga don't never get called for those calls. I mean,
they never call
niggas be in the air.
Yeah, in the air. Yeah.
Like while you trying to get a rebound or something, he pushing you in your bag.
Yeah.
He'll just push you.
Yeah, he gets away with a lot of that. He gets away with a lot of that. So, a lot of it.
Speaking of shit that people getting away with, man, these fans getting out of fucking control, man. Like, let me see. A fan spit on Trae Young. Really, it could have been, if we really want to be real, that nigga could have made a mistake and spit on 50 Cent too, because how they showed the video, the nigga right behind 50 Cent.
He was right behind 50. Yep.
So I'm sure he might have got a droplet on the nigga or something like that, trying to spit on this nigga. Yep. Russell Westbrook getting popcorn tossed on him after a game. I want to say I heard something about
somebody threw a bottle. Somebody threw a bottle at Kyrie Irving, and then they said some guy said something about to Ja Morant's dad in the stands.
They threatened his dad. It was call his mom a bitch and shit like that during the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, these fans getting out of hand. And I'm like, one, what make you think that you can get away with that? One, two, do you think, first off, do you get away with it outside of the arena? If you getting this shit off, like when you outside in public, then why the fuck are you doing it someplace in a controlled environment like a nigga ain't gonna fucking touch you?
Because you remember some years ago, Westbrook got into it with a fan because a fan I think he was like walking off the court or something in Utah. As a matter of fact, some years ago in Utah, they called him a nigga. And so he told the dude, he was like, he said, call me that after the game or when I walk outside and see what happened to you. And so when he said that, he mentioned it. He was like, fans should not. He said he wasn't. The principle of it was like you just said. Like you just said, he was like, this is stuff that they wouldn't say to us if they walked up to us in person. So they do it in the arena because it's all kind of security. They know we can't get to them. You know what I'm saying? Because
all I'm gonna say is let me see. I don't know how many more games do we get before the fucking championship. Before the championship happens, or it might even be in the championship. We're gonna have another Ron Artest moment, my nigga. I bet.
But they're not gonna let that happen. But now I'm gonna tell you what Matt Barnes said.
Okay, you ain't gonna be able to stop a player from running up in that motherfucker. If you a real nigga like Westbrook and like Ja Morant or something, and you see in the stands somebody threatening your mama, somebody talking shit to your dad.
Right.
Okay, all right, bet. Let somebody throw a drink at another player like Westbrook. It's gonna be too many of them motherfucking times. Like, all right, nigga, you keep throwing shit. They'll take that fine.
I'm gonna tell you why that's not gonna happen. The reason why it's not gonna happen is because the players right now, the players have said, even the players union, and Matt Barnes mentioned it on his page on IG. He said the same thing basically that you're saying. He said, NBA, if y'all don't tighten up security,
it's gonna be
on.
Alice in the Palace.
What he said. He said it's gonna be another Malice in the Palace. And he was like, there are guys in this league that ain't finna go for that. Like it ain't gonna be no security to hold them. They're gonna retaliate, and it ain't gonna necessarily be a Westbrook or somebody. It may be one of the guys on the bench that be like, you know what, I ain't playing. You threw a bottle at my teammate. I'm finna come up there and handle
I take the L for you.
Like I take the L for you because I know you need to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he said basically that's what he was saying. Like it ain't finna happen too many more times without somebody taking off on somebody. So the league right now is like, no, we don't want another replay of that because it basically and you remember that game. I'm sure you do.
Right.
Like that game was already, it was out of reach, first of all.
Right.
And you could tell like the tension in the arena.
It was already heated.
It was heated.
Game
it was already heated. And the game was basically over with. And so when that happened, they just lost control. Like it was like
Ron Artest wasn't even trying to fight.
Like Ron Artest,
he wasn't trying to fight. He chilling. He like, all right, man, I'm out of this, whatever.
And the dude
throw a big ass cup of beer all in my fucking face.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, people like, oh, it was just beer. It was a cup. But hey, a projectile coming all the way from the top of the fucking stands down to your face. That shit probably gonna explode on you. With an impact. Damn, real, I'm finna come up there and whoop everybody on that road.
Yeah. And so, like, I was watching that game. I'll never forget it, man. I was watching that game, and I was like, something finna happen. Because it was just tension. Like, it was just tension. Like, way before that, I was like, man, something ain't right. Like, even the commentators was like, I don't know, guys. It just don't feel like, they were like, it don't feel right in their rent. Like the Detroit fans were basically, it was like they was ready. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so when that happened, because Steven Jackson was a part of it, if you remember, because Steven Jackson was playing for Indiana at the time.
Dog shit out of one of them niggas in the stands, man.
Hey,
when a nigga reaching all the way back here. What did they reach all the way back here to hit your ass?
that man pulled back from the 3-point line.
Oh, man. Hey, Jermaine O'Neal had one of them jumps. He slid on his knee.
Yeah. It was, man, I ain't never, like, that's so crazy, man. That was crazy. And then I think the dude that Artest fired on wasn't even the dude that did it, if I'm not mistaken. He was. The dude was
he wasn't. He was one of them niggas. He was one of them niggas that like throw a rock and be like, that nigga right there did
it. like you see Ron Artest, 6'8".
Like, oh shit, that nigga coming up here. That nigga right there. That wasn't me. No, it was that nigga. It was Sam with the tight ass hat. That nigga right there.
Next thing I know, I get Ron Artest firing on me. My hat flew all the way across the arena.
Not only that, but look, Steven Jackson come in and mollywop your ass twice. Man.
Hey, speaking of Steven Jackson, man, did you see his response to Jermaine O'Neal? Okay, so for everybody that knows or don't know the whole Jermaine O'Neal, I mean, not Jermaine O'Neal, but Kwame Brown.
Oh, okay, so, I'm like, Jermaine O'Neal?
My bad, not Jermaine O'Neal, but Kwame Brown. So for anybody that's listening, watching, for the past, I'll say 3 or 4 weeks, Kwame Brown is responding to the All the Smoke podcast, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, Captain Jack.
Now, mind you, all of this is for a podcast that he got coming out, is all I want to say.
Oh, for Kwame Brown?
Kwame Brown. All of this, when he been doing this for all 3 weeks, it's been a
Yeah, which I figured it was.
I
knew
found
it
that
was.
later on. I was like, oh, this
Yeah,
thing got a
yeah,
podcast. So he's just bringing
yeah,
attention for his.
yeah.
I guess I'm about to start
Exactly.
talking shit to folks, but I can't do it to no Memphis nigga shit. I might.
Nah, because
No.
we ain't. You
Memphis
know
folks
we
ain't
can't.
playing about
Yeah,
nigga shit. I
yeah,
heard you was
yeah,
talking shit, my nigga. What's
yeah,
good?
yeah, yeah,
Hey man, it was just my personality. Bow.
yeah.
Like, hey,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Personality that nigga, this AK.
So that's what it's about, which I knew it was. I was like, either he got a pod coming, or he putting a book out or something or whatever. And so that's what it is. He putting out a podcast, which is lame as all outdoors, which I think it is. So basically Kwame Brown had a lackluster career. Okay. He stayed in the NBA 13 years, which I think is, that's really a long time career if you in terms of anybody by anybody's standards, because I think the longest NBA career is usually
Man,
about 7 years.
we can't say that shit. Now, okay,
What
mind you, now
13 years is not a short period of time to be in the league. The average NBA career is like
true.
7 years. Yeah.
Most people have careers at their job 13, 15 years.
Yeah.
True. So,
yeah.
All right, 15, 13 years, he made like $70 million, $70 million.
65, 70 million. Right.
Okay, cool. That's an accomplishment in itself, I bet.
Right.
But
okay, go ahead.
Is there any accomplishments in the league that he did?
No, absolutely not. No.
He wasn't a prime player or star.
No.
Or anything like that.
No.
Now, I will say this. The media will kill you, man.
Yeah. That's a part of it. That's a part of it. That's what you sign up for. What you sign up for?
Yes and no. And the only reason why I say that, and the reason why I understand this whole thing of what he's going through, the whole reason why he got this podcast and what he's even been talking about. All right. So what a lot of people don't know, I'm not what you was getting into. You was going to get into the stats, but what I really want to get into, this nigga was fucking like 19 years old. High school kid coming straight into the NBA.
Right.
He came into the NBA, but they treated this nigga like a grown ass nigga.
Okay.
First few games he come in, he didn't produce. They talk canned shit about a kid.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand it. They talking like you hearing Steven, they talking shit about this nigga every day. About him. Like, I remember it. Like this nigga was a fucking punchline every day. He was a punchline on Sports Center. He was punchlines in rap songs. He was a punchline.
Okay. All right.
So, all right. But after the Jordan doc came out, I realized that this nigga, you know how pimps break a hoe?
Yeah.
When you get, especially if you get a fine bitch and they break her confidence down and all this other type of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what happened to Kwame Brown.
Okay.
Michael Jordan broke this nigga's spirits and thinking he was gonna build this nigga up.
Mm-hmm.
And this nigga folded.
Right.
Do you chalk that up to him, or do you chalk that up to Jordan being a horrible teacher?
I chalk that up to a few things. So that's why Michael Jordan was never a coach. That's why he was never a coach.
A horrible GM too.
Well, yeah, I would say that too. Magic Johnson said something that's very important. He said all great players are not necessarily great teachers to other guys. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they demand so much, like because they commit so much themselves to being great. if you're gonna play with them or work with them or be an understudy, you have to do the same thing. Kobe Bryant was the same way.
I was just about to say Kobe Bryant because I was going to say, although everybody quote Kobe and say this Kobe mentality, nobody wanted to play with Kobe though because of his Kobe mentality.
I disagree with that. Nah, Lamar Odom says different. Andrew Bynum says different. His teammates say different. They was like, if you was like what's the name? What's the dude name?
So you don't think he was like Jordan then?
No, he was.
He was a little better than as far as with his teammates.
He was probably the same or worse, but those guys got rings now. You know what I'm saying? Them guys got rings. They ain't complaining. They was like, Kobe demanded us to be great as we could be in our own right, and we stepped up and did that. And there were some guys that couldn't handle that, and they either sat on the bench or they got traded.
Man, Kwame Brown never got good though.
And that's Kwame Brown's fault though. That's nobody else's fault. That's his fault.
Like, okay, he was this standout, like supposed to be like LeBron James when he came into the league. How much they were talking about him.
Yeah.
And this nigga came out and would start pulling up Sean Bradley numbers.
Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing.
Everybody knows Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley was a lame from BYU. Was he from BYU?
I don't know if Sean Bradley played for BYU. I don't know where he played.
Flop when he came into the league. The biggest nigga out there getting yammed on by everybody. Muggsy Bones. Muggsy Bones yammed on his ass. Like, dude.
Like, that's the thing, though, Jay. Like, okay. So here's my problem with Kwame. But I see what he's done. Since you mentioned that he's got a podcast coming, I see it now. Like I knew it was something. I knew it wasn't random. I knew it was something.
It's a build.
You know
it was a build up. It was a build up. So
it was a build.
So he started at Stephen A. first.
Right.
He started at Stephen A. To get the attention to him.
To get the attention. Exactly. Because in all honesty, like nobody's really been talking about Kwame Brown like that. Like nobody's been talking about him like that. And so when he said what he said about all the smoke guys, he talked about Stephen A. And I think it was one season he averaged 10.7 points or something like that with Washington. But otherwise, he's averaged like 7 points over his career, right? 13 years, okay? Everybody's getting in their feelings over it. Yeah.
Is that really? I was trying to look up the stats for real, but you're telling me his stats is 7 points?
Yeah, he averaged about 7 or 8 points a game throughout his whole career. Yeah. He had 1 year, I think it was 2011 or something, I think, that he averaged like 10.4 points a game or 2000. It may have been earlier than that, but it was 1 year where he averaged double digits, and the rest of it was 6 points, 7 points, 8 points. But he played a lot like there were several seasons where he played 72 games. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, my nigga.
But you got to remember.
I'm looking at the stats right now.
Right. So hold up.
6.6 points per game.
Per game. That's what I told you. He averaged about 67 points a game. But check it out though, Jay. So somebody said to me like, oh, man, he must have been pretty decent. He stayed in the league 13 years. I said, you got to remember at that time that the league was more big man focused. So if you were 7 feet tall and 260 pounds, you could find a spot on somebody's team.
Shit, you know didn't even play for the Grizzlies for a year.
Yeah. So I was like, you could find a spot on somebody's team at 7 feet tall at that particular time, and you just get in there and take up space. But to be honest, everybody's like, man, you know, they've been dogging this dude in the media for 20 years. I'm like, not really. Like his career was kind of like a joke in so many words.
But he's not number one overall pick.
Yeah,
2001.
He was a number one overall pick, right? Okay. There's been a lot of other number one overall picks that were trash. You know what I'm saying? The guy Anthony Bennett that went to Cleveland, like dude was out of the league in less than 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Olowokandi. Like, dude
See,
was out of the
who
league in
else
like
was in that
5 or
draft?
6 years.
Yeah, Tyson Chandler in that draft, Paul Gasol,
Yeah.
Zach Randolph,
Yeah.
Tony Parker, Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hear Mehmet Okur about. I don't hear about him anymore. Okur.
Yeah.
Gerald
Mehmet Okur.
Wallace.
He was decent for a little while. You know what I mean? He was okay for a little while. But what I'm saying is that, like, so the response that Steven Jackson gave him, which I think was a great response. I got a lot of respect for Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson was like, look, bro, like, I ain't really got nothing negative to say about you, but the conversation is really about basketball. And basically, it's like,
it was trash.
Your basketball career was trash. And like, you know, hey, much respect to being a league veteran. Like, exactly. Like that's the bottom line, Jay. Like that's what I'm saying.
Hey,
and so
it's like I didn't say anything that wasn't factual.
That wasn't fact.
About?
Like, dude, you averaged 6 points your entire career.
Like, hey, if we talking about, yeah, I get it. Cause if we're talking about a number 1 draft pick,
and you average 6 points a game.
6 points a game.
Like, come on, dude. Your first 3-4 years in the league, you average 4 points a game.
You've never averaged more than 6 points a game.
Yeah. So they showed like his highlights. So Stephen A, which I'm not the biggest fan of Stephen A. Don't get me wrong. I also think people like that, like Stephen A and a lot of those ESPN folks, they're easy targets anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like they're easy, like Charlamagne is an easy target. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, come on. Like, who ain't gonna listen to what you gotta say if you feel like putting Charlamagne the God on blast? You know what I'm saying? That's a public figure that you can go out and people gonna be like, oh, he did Charlamagne or he did Stephen A. So when Stephen A showed his highlights from his entire career, he showed this dude dropping wide open passes, missing wide open layups, and you're 7 feet tall. He was like, bro.
But you got Jordan, but you probably got Jordan in your head, like, hey, you dropped that ball.
But at the same time, no, like, what do? Do you get worse? Or do you go in the gym and work your butt off and learn how to dunk on 3 or 4 people or learn how to block shots? Like, you do something to get better. You don't get progressively worse and then complain about people dissing your basketball skills. Like,
maybe he had a condition like Markelle Fultz. Cause that nigga got fucking worse when he came to the NBA. That was ridiculous.
Like, it's a lot of guys that got
like this nigga was cold in college. This nigga came into the league and started shooting jumpers like Bill Cartwright. You're like, what are you doing? What the fuck is going on? How are you shooting the drain? Like, what is going on, nigga?
Like, some people just don't.
The condition. How?
Like,
when?
Like some people just don't respond well to pressure, man.
Oh, man.
You know? And so people are like, man, he was a kid. I'm like, in all honesty, I have to say it. I'm not the world's biggest LeBron fan, but I'm like,
I was a kid, though. Yeah.
LeBron was a kid. I'm like, I'm going to be real with you. There's been a lot of number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 picks.
Kevin Garnett was a kid.
Them dudes was 17, 18 years old.
Kid.
Like, they was ready for it. They was like, come on, give it to me. Like, Kobe didn't start his first year. You know what I'm saying? Kobe had some horrible games his first 2 years in the league. You know what I'm saying? Shooting air balls, like turning the ball over. You know what I'm saying? But we see all that changed. Because he was like, okay, am I here or am I going to be here? You know what I'm saying? So It's like, why are we making excuses for? It's like, this is what it is. It's like a dude that, it's like this. So you remember we used to check in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody said something to me about this online on Facebook. It was like, man, basically it's like, if I'm working with you and we coworkers, and you check me every day for 20 years, and then finally I respond after 20 years, I said, well, first of all, the first day you check me, I'm gonna check back. Like, I'm not gonna let you check me for 20 years, bro. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
Right.
Like, that's a sign of a basically
Well, I don't
you
know.
ain't got no spine.
I might let the first one slide.
Yeah, the first couple maybe, but in a little while, in a short period of time, I'm finna fight back. Like, whether they funny or not, like, we finna go at it. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was, like, if he wanted to respond, he probably should have responded by his play, not by talking about folks like, Becky with the good hair and Derek Fisher stole your girl and all this other type of stuff. Like, all the stuff he's saying is personal. Like, he talking about folks, what's going on in their household and all this type of stuff. I'm like, bruh, like, ain't nobody said nothing about your
I mean, I get some of it.
They talking about you being trash.
I get some of it. Like,
I don't get none of it. You a grown man.
Some of it is like, all right, cool. Yeah, I might be trash. True, I might be trash. Well, he might be saying, yeah, all right, he may have been trash, but you don't have to continuously talk about how trash that he is for a considerable length of time. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
So
if that's the case, you have
that. And he was like, okay, you downing another black man, but never talk about other things or other uplifting things. And I get what he's saying in that.
That's not true either. That's not true. And that's why when I really started to listen to him and also I went and started looking at videos and listening to pods, and I'm like, man, let me see if they uplift other black men on their show. Like, they talk about how this guy had a great career. Like, people couldn't stand Kobe Bryant when he was alive. Right now, man, Kobe Bryant's like a god to these folks. They're like, dude, this dude, like, I didn't like him at first, but when I got to meet him, Michael Jordan didn't even like Kobe Bryant when he first met him. He was like, who is this guy? Why he
I like Kobe early on. I like Afro Kobe when he was number 8. I like number 8 Kobe.
But check it out, though. What I'm saying is that a lot of people were like, when we first met him, we couldn't stand him. But once we got to know him, we loved the dude. Like, he was a great guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just didn't deal with a lot of people or whatever. He kind of was standoffish. When you got to know him, he's a great dude. A lot of people say the same stuff about Michael Jordan. Like, he a jerk, blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, like, has done stuff for people that he didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I started looking at all of that, and I'm like, okay, why do I have to stop talking about you for 20 years? But if you had a great career and we were still talking about your career being great, that would be okay, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, why do we change that when somebody has a terrible career or they don't do as well? Oh, we don't need to talk about that long. But if you were successful, you would want people to still be talking about it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, okay, your career, bro, your career was your career. Like, stand on that. Just say it. Like, yep, I sucked. I wasn't good, but I made 65 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take that approach, people will stop talking about you. Think about this.
No, you can't.
Nope.
No, how many times how many niggas you know that's gonna be like, yeah, I ain't shit. I ain't never been shit. But shit, I got 60 million though.
No. The way you approach that is, instead of waiting 20 years to say something, your 5th year in the league, you tell the media, like, look, you know what? Either I'm gonna go on and admit that I'm not that good, or I'm gonna go to the gym and work out. I'm gonna be the first one in practice. I'm gonna be the last one to leave. And instead of averaging 6 this year, I'm gonna set a goal to average 11. And the next season, I'm gonna average 14. And I'm gonna be Baby Shaq if I need to. Like, that's how I've heard players say. Like, I heard them say in the media that I wasn't that good or blah, blah, blah. And I come back the next season and play better.
Do you realize that this nigga was big enough where he could not score 5 points a quarter? We were just fucking talking about this vet shit.
Saying.
You could not score 5 points a quarter. Do you know 5 points, dude?
And they were giving him bruh, they were giving him the ball and he would drop it. They were running plays for this dude and he would drop the ball. He was getting wide open layups and dunks. Instead of him dunking the ball, he was trying to lay the ball up. He was missing it right under the goal.
Dude, I can get 5 points a quarter in the NBA.
Bruh, if I'm 7 feet tall and you give me the ball in the post, I'm elbowing somebody in the mouth if I need to score the basket. I don't care. Like, I'm finna score. At 7 feet tall, I'm finna score. I'm finna give me a hoop shot. I'm finna develop some like, I'm gonna do something to score 5 points a quarter.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's the whole.
Like, okay, like I thought when I was gonna pull up the stats while you were saying it,
you thought you were gonna see 15 a game or something like that. I thought I was gonna
see 15 a game or something like that, which is still mediocre, but usually that's
depending on your stats. Like,
this nigga didn't even score 10 points.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's garbage time. I mean, like real talk. Exactly. People get 10 points in garbage time.
I don't even think dude scored 1,000 points his entire career. If he did, I may be wrong, but I don't think he scored 1,000 points his entire career.
It says 6,000.
Oh, 6,000. Wow. I'm way off then.
It was, what is it? Where did it go to? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. My apologies. 4,000.
No. Okay.
4,000 points.
A little bit under that.
And 3,000 rebounds.
Yeah.
Nigga.
He should have more rebounds than points.
Yeah, he should have 10,000 rebounds or something, man. Man, dude,
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. That's what I thought.
I get that he probably still in his feelings about people talking shit about him. Okay, cool. I understand that because I'm still in my feelings about what people have done me. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. I get it. What?
I ain't think about this.
Man, you know what? Real talk. I will have to say, I envy y'all. I envy people like you where things can happen and you don't really let it bother you anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can get over, like, I don't know how you all are able to recover from that. Because me, after a while, I think and then I analyze the shit and then I further get mad and then the grudge gets even darker. Like, you know, man, what?
Look, people gonna talk regardless. If you good, bad, mediocre, great, whatever, they gonna say something.
It's the talk, like, it's the betrayal, it's all this shit.
Man, it's gonna happen. And ain't nobody betray dude, though. That's the problem. Ain't nobody betray him. Like, he acted like these folks did something to him personally. Like, these folks was like, bruh, like,
you might feel because now Steven Jackson, I want to say Steven Jackson, him and they used to be on the same team or something like that. I want to say.
And Steven Jackson was like, Steven Jackson said, yeah, I remember when he was on that team. And he was like, I'm tripping because, like, it was no animosity there. Like, he never showed me any animosity when we played on the same team together. You know what I'm saying? He was like, so that's why I'm tripping, like, where this coming from? Because dude ain't never approached me. He ain't never said nothing negative to me about nothing or whatever. He was like, all of a sudden now he a gangster. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, bruh, you know, on the one.
Don't act hard now. You've been bullied your whole life in the NBA.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You ain't whooping me now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, exactly. So he was like, because Steven Jackson even said, you can check it out on YouTube. Steven Jackson was like, look, bro, like, you starting to talk about people's personal stuff or whatever. He was like, you don't want me to go there. Because he was like, I'm certified. Like,
yeah, I think somebody did start talking about Kwame Brown personal life and personal business. I think
I'm sure it was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
No, like, I'm talking about before all this. I'm talking about.
I have heard not the people that he's talking about, none of them have ever said anything personal about him publicly, that is. And that's what they were tripping. They was like, we were talking about basketball, and then he took it there. You know what I'm saying? And so if anybody knows anything about debating, or if you're having an argument or a debate between somebody, the first person to go personal, that's the one that's gonna lose.
So it's more than likely for the podcast then. There you go.
Yeah.
It's to bring the attention. Let's see what this nigga talking about, whatever. But real talk, it ain't gonna last long because that nigga sound like an old released Negro from the field.
Dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying by now. You know what I'm saying?
This nigga was an escaped slave to how this nigga was talking on the microphone. Right? What the fuck? I just learned to read, face ass nigga. What the fuck?
You know what I'm saying? I'm from South Carolina. You know what I'm talking about? I'm South Carolina. These niggas out here, you know what I'm saying? These niggas out here got these folk food and blah, blah. You can pull up on them. I'm like, okay, so when they ask you to come on the podcast, how come you ain't answer the phone, bro? Like, Matt Barnes even said, like, hey, man, come on the podcast. We can box before the podcast if you want to. And then we can sit down and have a discussion on the podcast. Like, he ain't want to do that. So that's how I was like, oh, he do. They ain't talking about
now see, that was a good one to have because, you know, Steven Jackson is willing to fight at any moment. Him and Matt Barnes.
Exactly.
You don't want to fight neither one of them.
That's my whole point. I was like, this man pulling up on Captain Jack, Malice in the Palace, Steven Jackson, and Matt Barnes, who went to his own house and beat the brakes off Derek Fisher.
Right. Like, oh, you want to fight? Okay, cool. We can do that too.
Like, and he said, like, dude, I don't even know where this coming from. Cause
Matt Barnes will bring his sons. Like, hey,
exactly.
Son, watch me whoop this big nigga
ass. And that's why he was like, okay, you know. So yeah, man, I knew it had to be. I knew it was. I mean, we've been doing this podcast thing for a while. We know people do to get attention on social media and stuff like that. So when I saw it and I started watching the argument back and forth, and I was like, this dude doing this for attention. I was like, this ain't got nothing to do with no basketball. Cause when nobody even talking about him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so
I hadn't heard nobody talking about him in the news or anything like that. Then Kwame Brown was in the news. I'm like, why is Kwame Brown in the news? Then I heard him again. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So now I had to look him up and see what the fuck was going on. And
there you go. There you go. He started trending. So now that you said that, I'm like, oh, okay, do that. And I had people, man, defending him on Facebook. Man, if somebody talk about you for 20 years, you know, you gonna clap back. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, if they talk about me for 20 years, they ain't been talking. Man, they've been talking about dude for 20 years. I'm like,
now
I'll
put like this. So yeah, if somebody been talking about you for 20 years and you've never said anything, the whole thing of it would be, why the fuck are you saying something now?
Why are you saying something now? Like, what you saying something now for? Unless you want attention.
Yeah, unless you've been saying something before this whole 20 years and ain't nobody been putting your word out. And now you have an outlet. Okay, cool. But yeah, ain't nobody said a peep, and you ain't upped your game up, and each team that you played, team you played for, you still played like 6 points.
I think we got the title of the pod, 6 points a game. 6 points a game, sir.
Oh man.
Yeah, 6 points a game, man. What else you got, man?
Man, Kendrick Perkins' son can score more than that.
Kendrick Perkins is a better commentator than Kwame Brown was a basketball player. And Kendrick Perkins sucks as a commentator. He's terrible. Like
I
I've
like
never
Perkins as
no,
on ESPN.
no. That's that
That
Coon
nigga bring
show.
that
No,
grit.
man.
I like that
No, it
shit.
ain't. That's Conan. That's a Coon show.
Whoa,
That's a
Kendrick,
Coon show.
man,
That's a
no,
Coon show. So you
no.
finna sit here and tell me, that
Big Perk,
they picked Big Perk to be on ESPN
right?
because he knowledgeable and he know what he talking about all the time.
He do know his basketball. You don't think so?
He knows some basketball stuff, but some of that stuff he be saying is just for like argument. Like it be like basically he giving his opinion so they can disagree. I was just watching it the other day. I was like,
all of it is about your opinion and conjecture. None of it is all factual.
To a degree. Like to a degree. But like, come on. So I give you an example. Kyrie Irving said Boston, Massachusetts is pretty much a racist city.
Right.
I've never heard any different. I haven't never heard any different. They tried to kill Paul Pierce when he first got there, okay? They tried to stab him. I mean,
I should be. No, I'm not laughing, but yeah.
No, I mean, Chappelle did a joke about it, but I'm
That's
just
why
saying, like,
thinking about the Chappelle joke, but yeah,
you know. So I've never heard anybody else say any different. Like they were like, "Hey, yeah, I played there, and some of the people there are okay, but pretty much it's a racist city, right?" Kendrick Perkins, him and Stephen A. Smith, the first thing came out of their mouth was,
"Man, Stephen A. Smith is Stephen, though."
I know exactly. I mean, you expect
his real
him
name
to.
is Stephen, so yeah, Stephen. He's Stephen for real. He's Django Stephen.
So, but check it out, Kendrick Perkins. The first chance he get, instead of him saying, "Well, you know what? Like, man, I know Kyrie. I hate that Kyrie is experiencing that." Like, he don't say it like that. Well, you know, first of all, I mean, I got to disagree with Kyrie. First of all, I got to disagree because, you know, I'm gonna just be real with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got drafted there, and you know, man, I got a number of good things to say about the city of Boston and the fans and all the people that's there, and you know, they
maybe
treated
he
me,
do though,
you know, very nice, you know, and I mean that's okay. But you don't tell this man
maybe he wrong. Maybe he was the Green Mile.
Well, you know, they treated me, I think Kyrie wrong because you know, when I went there, they treated me good and I could go anywhere in the city I wanted to go to, and I met a lot of great people there. And, you know, I got to sleep with a lot of white women, and you know, it wasn't no problems, you know, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? They fed me good, and, you know, Massa treated me real nice, you know what I'm saying? And that's how he sounded talking. I was like, bruh. So basically you just ran the bus over Kyrie Irving, just like, oh, he ain't talking about nothing. He parrot, you know. And I've heard other players say that, man, when I go to Boston, like they tell us don't, you know, like stick together. Like basically, like people will try you in Boston.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, when he said that, like, Kyrie's a pretty intelligent guy. Kyrie ain't stupid. He ain't crazy like people try to make him out to be. The dude's actually a pretty intelligent guy.
I mean, and Boston is what the logo show.
Exactly.
Irish.
Exactly.
And Irish people don't like niggas.
Exactamundo.
I'm sorry, although I got Irish in my blood from the freckles, but they'll mix with them.
But that ain't by choice. You know what I'm saying? That ain't by choice. So, but yeah, exactly. I got one other thing I want to talk about real quick. Everybody's going crazy about crypto, right? Right. Are there any crypto experts? I say no.
There is one. I ain't gonna say I met him, but I found him on one of the YouTube channels. Somebody was interviewing him on there. I had to give him send the video your way. I can't remember his name right now, but it's a couple of them. But the reason why we are unaware of that individual is because, one, nobody really knows who the person is, and two,
Right.
they're like most nerds or most geeks, they're private.
Right.
Like it
That's
just so happened
right.
it's only just so happened that Elon Musk is a hip nerd.
Right. Mm-hmm. But all these other people
like
talking
Bill
about
is a big
they
nerd.
experts.
If it wasn't for the media putting the camera on him, we wouldn't know anything about Bill Gates or Zuckerberg.
Mm-hmm.
So these people who are in this space making this money or whatever like that, we're unaware of who like don't nobody even know who was the dude who made crypto, Satoshi Nakamoto. That nigga, don't nobody even know who this nigga look like.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They just know the name.
Right.
So yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I mean to shit
I
on
was
you.
just saying, no, it's all good. I was just saying the only people that like the people that you just mentioned are like the very few. Everybody else is kind of picking up pieces along the way and claiming to be crypto experts. I'm like, you can't be an expert or something that just basically came out within the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, how can you really be an expert? And you just picked up on it 3 years ago. And the people that are, like the guy that you just mentioned, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, they were creating all of this.
Right.
But all of these folks that are talking, like, like, hey,
and we
man,
still
hit
don't
me
understand
up. Not especially like we have an idea, right? But it's a lot of people that claim to be crypto experts that still don't understand financial markets.
I don't know why. The only way I try to explain any of the crypto is at this age is like how I even tried to explain the cashless society. You don't see your money now anyway.
Right. Exactly.
You don't see your money now. You don't see your money now anyway.
I said the same exact thing.
This new crypto thing, when you're processing it, is just It's right now. It is encrypted money. Pretty much. It's money that cannot be stolen electronically.
Right. There you go.
So once you have that information and it's easier to transfer and shit like that, once it's explained a little bit to that extent, you're like, oh, okay. And you don't have to worry about somebody always stealing your information from the bank.
Right.
Somebody stole $1,000 out of your bank easily by mistake or whatever. Right. It's too many security measures in Bitcoin. I mean, crypto. It's too many.
Crypto. There you go.
Because crypto, that's a good or blockchain. Crypto, blockchain, that encryption, they have like a 278 key encryption key that's turning, that's changing every second or minute or something like that. So if you got a key that's already 270 something encryption key, that's also changing every fucking second or minute, it's hard to hack into that junk.
It very much so is. There you go.
You're gonna have to have some type of high rate algorithm thing that's gonna be able to encrypt it faster
to decrypt
than it changes.
Yeah, exactly. To decrypt it.
Yeah. And at that point, it ain't even really worth it.
Exactly. There you go. Perfect example, sir. Thank you for explaining that. No, for real. That was something. Yeah, that was something.
That's how I try and explain it. I mean, I try to explain it how I can understand it. And like, I'm a layman. So I'm like, hey, if I can explain it to myself where I can understand, I should be able to, like, hey, man, it's just like this. But then again, I'm dyslexic. So I might explain shit and be like, what? What are you talking about, nigga?
Oh, hey, man. What else you got, man? Go ahead.
You heard, well, I don't know. I guess it ain't really news, but it was news to me. You heard Amazon bought MGM Studios?
I didn't know that.
I think that's a big deal. Amazon buying MGM Studios because of the simple fact, one, MGM Studios been around for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
That's like that. But with them buying that, that's like them really entering the movie game. And you got to think about all the movies that MGM Studios has that will now be streaming on Amazon Prime that they have the rights to.
Yeah. So what you just mentioned was exactly what I was going to say. It's just to create a bigger, more leveled, multi-level platform the way Netflix has.
Because if you own the right, if you got to think about it too, if you own the rights to a movie, now you have the rights where you can make a sequel to the movie too.
There you go. Right. Exactly.
You can do whatever you want to add on. Now you can make a TV series of this movie too.
Right. Because you own the rights to it.
So you own the rights to the name and stuff. You ain't got to call it something else or whatever like that. You own the rights to the name.
Right.
So yeah.
It's perfect. For them, yeah. It's perfect.
That's like I said, that's a very big deal. And then that'll be in competition with Netflix, which is going to blow them out the water. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, no, is that Amazon don't own Google, do it? Or Google owns Amazon, do it?
No.
They not in correlation or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Gotcha. I think that's it. Hey, quick question. What's the rule for dating an ugly girl?
Wow. It's so subjective. It depends on your definition of ugly or unattractive.
I mean, ugly is ugly to whomever. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's subjective. So she may be like, I don't know, she may be ugly to you or unattractive to you. She may be fine to somebody else.
But that ain't what I'm asking. Ugly to you is ugly to you. So I'm asking, what are the rules in dating an ugly girl?
It's not one, because if she ugly to you, why would you date her? Like, that don't make no sense. If you ain't attracted to her, what you gonna date her for?
So you ain't never dated an ugly girl, bro?
No, not one that I thought was ugly or unattractive or didn't like. No, why?
So you took
like,
chicks. So all chicks, so all women that you done dated or messed with, you done brought them out in public.
If you're dating, yeah, you went out in public. If you ain't been out in public with them, you ain't dating.
Okay, sir.
I mean, do I have to spell it out, nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, man. Come on, man. It's like common. It's like that's a common thing. Yeah, you done smashed the ugly chick before. Like, chicks done smashed ugly dudes before. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the same thing.
Hey, real talk. We might be the ugly dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we could be. Like, for real. But does the ugly person, do they care? Because they got it. They smashed. They don't care if they ugly or not. They're like, I'm ugly, but I still get it. So what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so she didn't.
Seal out here smashing all kind of hoes in that nigga.
I mean, fly like an eagle.
That nigga look like a burnt piece of shit.
Damn, bro.
Have you seen that nigga face? Have you seen him?
Yeah, man. I think it's like something happened to him or something, man. It's kind of cold-blooded, bro. Man said, burnt piece of shit. Damn. Bro, what's wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you?
Because I was thinking of was Mr. Hanky. And I was thinking of Mr. Hanky burned.
Man, you going to hell.
You can pay me to sell. I like that shit.
This nigga, he's sleep. This nigga tired. Man. He get delirious.
Ain't no delirious. That's some real shit.
See, man. See, here we go. Oh my god.
Oh man. I think that's it though. I just bullshit.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got, man. Shout out to everybody watching, listening. Continue to subscribe, follow. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You continue. I think my only other thing was, but you continue.
Subscribe, YouTube channel, website. I want to mention that somebody said something about it. www.off-onthetangent.com, Podbean, Apple Podcasts as well, Facebook, and J Will does it on Instagram.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. My only other thing, man, is about this damn bridge, man. Where the fuck is all this traffic coming from, man?
What you mean?
I refuse to believe that this one bridge that has 3 lanes on each side. The shutdown of this bridge has produced all of this traffic for this one bridge. That, mind you, has 2 lanes on each side.
I'm trying to
figure out where all this traffic is coming from. Why is a standstill traffic in this
because you had traffic on the other bridge as well. Like
it wasn't no stop. It wasn't no standstill traffic, my nigga. This is standstill traffic.
Yeah, because you got 18-wheelers now that used to be able to drive a certain speed over that bridge. They can't do that on the other one because they sharing a highway with, instead of 3 cars, now they got 7 cars they sharing the highway with. And instead of having 4 18-wheelers on one side, you got 8 on one side because all of the traffic is shifted to a bridge that's got 2 less lanes. So yeah,
it's
traffic is going to be backed up.
It's only
on
one
both sides.
On
both sides is 2. Yeah.
So
you're gonna have more traffic. And not necessarily
it's
more.
It's crazy with the traffic though. This traffic is dude. I mean, right now I feel like traffic. I feel like I'm in Atlanta. How the traffic is right now.
You got to think though, man. We're still like the reason why it's such an important thing. And they talked about this. Like now they're talking about building the 3rd bridge, which we should have had a 3rd bridge anyway. We're the distribution capital of the world. Like those bridges are very, very important to the entire United States. You know what I'm saying? So all of the trucking, all of the stuff that is brought over here from the West, like if you don't fly out, you go that way to go to Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go that way to go to St. Louis, go to the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it's going to be backed up. You know what I mean? Or yeah, it's going to be slow. Plus that older bridge. And now check this out. They're going to have to work on the old bridge after this is over.
Because all of the heavy weight traffic on this one. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, yeah, when you got constant traffic coming in and out of a city and you got to shut a whole entire bridge down. So shucks. And it's in an area where it's not close to, the new bridge is basically you can go to, you can go east, you can go west, you go north and south. On this one right here, you really can't go east. You got to go around to go east. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through downtown to go east. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is.
Because
That
now you
traffic that
can't.
now they got to go over
Yeah,
through the streets and then they got to get back on
yeah,
to the expressway going the other way.
yeah. They
Maybe
got to
that's
get
what that
back on
traffic
40,
is.
or they got to go all the way around, going back towards like what is it like going back towards Westwood, and then come back around and get on 40, then go back towards east. So yeah, it's gonna be backed up.
Cause the streetway fucked up.
Yep.
the expressway around that area fucked up. It's like any streets that you go on that are close to downtown and midtown, it's
yeah.
crazy.
And you know, there's several streets where 18-wheelers can't ride on by ordinance, by law. They can't ride down.
And they should, because you see how they already fucking up the roads.
Yeah, exactly. That's why the road's so bad here.
And man, I gotta say, city of Memphis, man, when y'all plug in the holes, man, why don't y'all have them little steamrollers rolling behind the jump, man?
Man, they don't.
I just want to know that, like, all right, true, you filled up the hole, but now you made a bumpy road that the roads feel like you ride on cobblestone.
And they wonder why people in this city spend more money on getting rims fixed and tires fixed than almost like in Detroit. And it shouldn't even be that way because they don't even get that cold here.
Dude, I got a crack rim now. I got 2 crack rims right now for that very reason.
Yeah. And these are main streets. Like these ain't side streets. These are main streets.
These are main streets where money lives. Money lives on these streets. And you like, hold on, man. Shelby Drive shouldn't be this fucked up.
Yep.
Poplar should not be this fucked up. It's too much money up and down Poplar.
Yeah.
That road should not be that bumpy, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's a few other. It's a Elvis fucking Presley should not be that bumpy. It's bumpy like Seagram's gin bottle, my nigga.
Bumper face.
Like, dude, what the
fuck? they need to change the name of Poplar to Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson Avenue.
Acne Face Road. Or something shit. This is ridiculous, man. Like, where's the money going to if it's not fixing the street right? Because this is ridiculous now. It's ridiculous to the point where it's everywhere, and it shouldn't be.
Nah, it shouldn't be. That money probably going to, I don't know, maybe probably pay somebody's gambling debts off or something. I don't know. I'm just talking, man.
Smile shit. That money paying for somebody's hoes.
Bingo.
It's called the Whole Fund.
This is it.
The Whole Fund. But
that's
the what?
That's why I want to be Mayor of Memphis one day.
Make sure I get this whole fund so I can fill up all the holes in Memphis. Yeah. All the holes in Memphis needs to be filled. Yes. Man, I think I'll get up off this joint, man. I am your host. Let's do it. I am your host, Jason. J. Will does it. Man, it's expensive to be outside right now, too. Shit. I forgot we ain't talk about that shit. The fucking inflation.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Because they know us, because they know y'all niggas got that money now. Y'all can spend it. You got it? Shit. Let's raise this gas to $4. We need to get our money back.
Yep.
See, I'm about to go on a whole nother ranting tangent.
Yeah.
We're going to have to start
we'll
off
talk
with
about
that
next time. Yeah, because the price of some other stuff is going up. Meow. Meow.
Shit, bitch, you better be cooking if the price of that go up. Quit playing.
Meow. Meow.
Shit, you gotta come with some gawk and some more shit.
That turkey neck.
Giraffe neck. Fuck out of here.
Yes,
See, this is why I always said I already knew he had to cut it out because I already know he was going to shoot off.
Yeah. You already know.
Yeah, but yeah, giraffe. So if the price is going up, no, I'm giraffe, please. Giraffe.
Oh boy. Yes, we are the Off on the Tangent podcast.
And I want to say this is an area where I think the women get mad because the men are being vocal about all that. Hey, bitch, I ain't taking this shit no more. I'm seeing it everywhere now.
Man, what? You ain't lying.
Oh, I ain't taking this shit no more. You gonna suck my dick and make me a sandwich.
We're not gonna take it anymore.
Man. Oh, boy. We are the Off on the Tangent podcast on several tangents at any given moment, as you can see.
Yes, we are.
I am your host, Jason JWILLDOESTV. And I got my guy, Ivan, the Grizzly, the great little hat wearer.
Yes, but I do wear them. Yes, I do.
Little hats? Is that what you're trying to say?
Pause. We are the Off on the Tangent podcast. I am Ivan the Great.
And we're about to this joint, episode 85, 86, whichever one I'll get it one day. And we're about to this joint. Them town? Peace. Olive.